Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to optimize the performance of Monster Hunter Wilds on mid to high range PCs. So from what I played for a bit, the game is not too well optimized, but we're going to try to optimize a bit so we can have some FPS and not struggle with them. So the first thing I'd recommend you to do is installing, depending on your graphics card, the NVIDIA app if you're an NVIDIA user, and the Adrenaline Edition, AMD software uh, if you're an AMD user. And because of that, if you have, for example, AMD user, so here we can uh, install the drivers, and this is a vital and the most significant step that you have to perform in order to have an optimal performance in the game. So for me, I am an AMD user, so I can use the AMD software to install them, and the installation button, if you don't have the current updated drivers, it will be here. Same goes for the NVIDIA app. The process is really similar. Both softwares will guide you through the installation process really easily. And the second step would be getting in the game, and I will go through the settings and adjust them and tweak them as we go. So let's start with the first page. And first, I would recommend using the upscaling technology. It works pretty well in this game. I didn't really see any differences between the native performance with not using the upscaling and with upscaling. It looked pretty well. So I would recommend using the FSR or the DLSS if you have the NVIDIA graphics card. So now the frame generation, I would leave it disabled, but if your PC really struggles, you can enable it. Upscaling mode, if your PC is from the mid to high range, I would set it on quality, and your game will still look amazing, and you won't have to worry about the blurry edges and stuff like that. Here, the upscaling, I would recommend setting it on a bit on the higher end. From what I've tested in many games, setting it on a higher end makes the edges of some objects like trees and buildings look more sharp, and you won't see those blurry edges too often. These two settings are grayed out because these are locked when you're using the upscaling technology, and they are only used when you use the native gameplay with no upscaling. Texture quality, this setting will work well on the high setting if you have an 8 gigabytes plus of VRAM in your PC. If you have less, put it on medium to low. Tweak the setting according to the preference you see in game. Texture filtering, this won't affect performance much, so I will put it in a high, medium, or the highest setting. I played the high setting and got pretty good FPS. Mesh quality, I would recommend not putting the highest setting, just leave it at high or medium depending on your preference. To be honest, I didn't see any significant difference between the medium and high settings, so I just leave it at medium. I don't mind some more FPS over this setting. I didn't see a difference. For quality, to be honest, I didn't see the difference between the low and high setting. I set it to low because, as I said, I don't mind a few extra FPS. Sky and cloud quality, this didn't really affect between the medium and the highest settings. Doesn't really I didn't really see a difference, so I would put it in the medium or high setting because the game for now is not really well optimized. So grass and the foliage quality, I would recommend putting it in the high setting or medium. This setting doesn't really matter from what I have tested. Okay, next page. Grass and tree sway, this didn't really affect performance. I would leave it enabled, so the grass and trees can sway in the wind. Wind simulation, I would set it to low, because this I don't know what was the difference between high and low. I didn't see it, so I would just place it to low because I don't mind the few extra FPS. Surface quality, like I said, we want to maximize performance, so I would set it to low or high. As you can see in the preview, it doesn't really matter. It looks pretty the same. Sun, snow, water quality, I would set it to high or medium. This setting doesn't really matter. I would set it to high if your PC is a bit on the mid to high range. Water effects, I'll leave it enabled. This will enable the fluid effects in game. Render distance, this setting has an effect on the performance significantly, so if you want to maximize FPS, leave it on medium or low. If your PC really struggles, I'll leave it on high. Okay, the shadow quality, as you can see, the difference is pretty significant, so just experiment with it. This has some performance increase when you put it on the low settings, but I played with the high setting and it worked pretty well. Distance shadow quality, this setting doesn't really matter. I would recommend putting it on the low if you want some more FPS, and on the high if your PC doesn't struggle with other settings. This setting, again, didn't really see too much big of a difference between near, medium, and far, so I would recommend just putting in the medium or low, near, because the render distance, I didn't really put too much attention while fighting to the shadows, so put it in near or medium. Ambient light quality, this really improves the looks of the game, so consider putting it in the high, but if your PC struggles, put it in medium. And as you can see, this quality significantly loads the VRAM usage, so if your PC struggles, put it into low, but remember that this setting will affect the visuals. Contact shadows, this will significantly improve performance, but if your PC is on a mid to high range, I would recommend putting it in the enable. Ambient occlusion, this setting significantly improved performance for me when I downgraded it or even disabled it from what I was testing, so for now we're going to leave it off to maximize performance. Bloom, this setting doesn't really matter. I just put it on high because it makes the light more pretty. Motion blur, again, this setting doesn't matter, it's purely preference. Pretty much all these effects here doesn't really matter, except this setting, the scattering. I would recommend turning it off if your PC struggles. And the volumetric fog, if your PC struggles, the volumetric effects are really costly for the PC, so if your PC struggles, just turn them off, or to low. And that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video and considered it helpful, leave a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.